very quickly into shelter in place. I think a big piece of why we were like, okay, we need her in daycare full time
Mhm.
was I was at home a lot. My husband was home a lot working,
Yeah.
and we're in this 2-bedroom apartment and can't escape. And then our neighbors are home as well, and they would hit the floors if we were too loud, and it was just the stress of trying to, I think, appease everyone around you, and also take care of this child who needs to continuously learn and develop and explore. It just was not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we were very quickly, I think, put our hands up. Can she come in full time now? And I think we did it kind of on a trial basis, because we weren't, I mean, like everybody, we weren't really sure how long shelter in place would go on.
Right.
So I think, we worked with Linda, and it was, let's try it for this first month. And
Yep.
then we checked in, and then we said, oh yeah, we're going to keep going. And now it's like, there's no looking back. I think she needs to be in full time. She likes it full time, and it kept us all sane. Absolutely. The frequent communications. I think at one point it was almost daily, which was good, very good, because I mean, as a parent, you want to make sure that this is taken seriously, and you want to know what steps are being taken to show how serious it is being taken. So that was really helpful, having the frequent communications. Also, there was a video I liked, and it was, I don't know if it was on Instagram or the website, maybe both, but it was showing the smoke cleaner.
The
I don't know what it's called.
smoker. Yeah, my
Yeah.
made that.
Yeah, that was great. I remember watching it like, oh, that is really cool. And I showed it to a coworker, because I was like, this is impressive. I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
And there were also pictures, which I actually got a really big kick out of, where the kids were cleaning the toys. And I was like, I need to get Emery to do that more, because it's just a really good idea. Because I think it made it, you could see that the daycare made it fun for the kids,
Mhm.
but also while making sure the toys are getting clean. So I think the videos and the photos showing what actions were being taken, as well as that increase of communication, I found it extremely helpful. The slide, loves the slide, and I think during COVID, the lockdown,
Yes.
that was a big one, because all the parks were closed,
Yep.
and we were at the time living in an apartment. So she couldn't even go outside in the backyard to
Yep.
just play.
Mhm.
So just our go-to is usually, let's go to the park. And we couldn't do that. And so that was like her favorite thing, was just going down the slide. I'm sure she probably just goes and just
Yep.
goes and goes and doesn't stop.
Yep.
So that's one of her favorites. She also likes, there's certain teachers she points, like, she kind of makes a point to tell us who she likes.
She's bonded.
And yeah, and I like that a lot. I think that helps a lot from a comfortability standpoint as a parent, knowing that she really, she really likes the adults that she's around, and she really likes her friends. I definitely miss the events. I miss the Friday, what was that?
Parents'
The
night out.
Friday. Yeah, that was a good one. I think I managed to do the last one. I think it was in January or February, one of those, whichever the last parents' night
Yep.
out was. I was able
Yep.
to take advantage of that before everything got crazy. So I missed that one a lot. Um, one thing I really like, and I made a point to say it in Yelp, was around the food
Yep.
preparation, and really just how accommodating ScuttleBugs has been for dietary needs and allergies. ScuttleBugs really cared to make that accommodation for her and for us, which was really nice to see. It was really appreciated. So I liked that. That's one thing I really like, and I want to make a point about, and also just the communication within the app. So within that, whatever app, I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Mhm.
and just being able to see, what she ate for the day, seeing the photos of her playing and doing the activities. The communication around that itself has just been tremendous and so helpful for parents while we're out working and, having to do things that I'm sure we'd all prefer to be with our children, but seeing that while we're not is extremely helpful. Food and diapers, that was like the other two, because it was like, do I have to bring my own diapers? No, perfect. I don't want to do that. That's expensive in itself. So and it's just, I'm a forgetful parent. I don't forget my child, but I forget other things, and there's just a lot to remember. And if I had to bring diapers in, I would be forgetting that. So that was an important one, and making sure that even just prepare, like the fact that I didn't have to prepare food for her to come into school. And that was a big one, because I have a lot of coworkers and friends who they had to make their own food, and they had to be in certain color-coded Tupperware, and I was just like, ooh. One thing that my husband and I noticed really quickly was just, especially when she got into that toddler group, was how quickly she's learning words. She was doing sign language, and just things that my husband and I wouldn't think to say to her. It would just come out of her mouth. Like the other day, I think it was about a month or two ago, she pointed to something on TV and said excavator. And my husband was like, what? I don't even know that word. And so it was just funny, and then she's like tow truck and dump truck, and we're like, okay, this is hilarious, because we didn't teach her these words. And so just the vocab itself, and knowing when, identifying items or objects was a big one. And then, stringing together sentences. And it's just wild, because a couple months ago, she's just all of a sudden just full sentences, and it just gets better and better. And I think that's been one of the items I've been really impressed about.
Sending Emery to ScuttleBugs, or even just during the COVID shelter in place and handling the adjustments in life, do you feel that's had any negative impacts on her?
I don't. I don't. I know, we wear a mask when we go out, and we've made it fun. And, I think initially she was a little resistant, but it seems like a lot of people were as well. So that doesn't seem too uncommon. But
young kids.
Yeah, and now it's just so normal, and there's no fear. I've made it I've intentionally made a point to not make it a fear thing for her. So and I think that's helped a lot. So I don't think it has. I want to say it really hasn't had a major effect on her. I mean, I'm sure we'll know at some point if it has, but right now I don't think it has made had a negative effect on her at all. In fact, I think it's probably had the opposite, but I think that's because we were able to take advantage of the fact that ScuttleBugs was open for essential workers, and the fact that I'm considered essential worker by my employer, so I was able to take advantage of it. I think for kids who unfortunately weren't able to take advantage of that, I think maybe they might be a little bit different. They might say something completely different. But with the situation at ScuttleBugs and how we were able to continue going to daycare and actually increased our presence at daycare for her, I think it really had a positive influence on her.